Hi, I'm Dr. Ryan Whitaker from Hearing and Balance Doctors, and I'm coming to you today from the Olive Garden in St. George, Utah. And I want to talk with you a little bit today about an interesting topic. It's one that we get asked about a lot at our clinic, and that is how to hear well in background noise. I'm back in the quiet confines of my office here. It was awfully hard to hear there at the Olive Garden, which is a common complaint of our patients, that it is difficult to hear in restaurants, it is difficult to hear in background noise, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. I want to talk a little bit about why it is so difficult to hear in background noise, and I also want to talk a little bit about what we can do about it and how we can help you to hear better in those noisy, difficult situations. So the first question, why is it so difficult to hear in background noise? It is actually quite a complex problem. Our brains are able to analyze all the sound that our ears are picking up and separate all of those different sounds into something that we call discrete auditory streams. So in other words, if we're in a noisy restaurant and I'm trying to have a conversation with my wife, but there's also conversations going on at the tables around me, there's also the sound of the silverware clinking on the plates, there's also the sound maybe of the traffic going by outside, our brains are able to pick up all of those sounds simultaneously. The ear is sending all of that information at the exact same time up to our brain, but amazingly, our brains are able to separate each of those different sound sources into its own discrete auditory stream. So I'm able to tell, okay, I can hear my wife talking, I can hear a conversation at the table next to me, I can hear the traffic going on outside, I can hear the silverware on the plates, but all of those are coming in as very discrete, different auditory streams. Once our brain has been able to separate those streams, it is then able to suppress unwanted sounds. Interestingly, our brain sends the message back down to our ears. This is something that we call top-down or efferent noise suppression. The brain is literally able to send a message down to the ears, telling the ears to suppress those sounds that are unimportant. So if I don't want to be hearing the conversations next to me, or if I don't want to be hearing the traffic outside, my ear can literally suppress those sounds. In a normal functioning auditory system, that all happens automatically. The brain hears all the sound, it separates it into the streams, it suppresses the sounds that it doesn't want to hear, and I'm able to hear my wife across the table from me. But in an individual with hearing loss, some of those abilities are lost. It becomes difficult to separate the streams. It all comes through in a jumble. The ability for this efferent or top-down suppression is also somewhat lost. And so hearing in background noise becomes an extremely difficult task. What can we do about it? Well, modern technology has helped quite a bit. Hearing aids have come a long, long way. Hearing aids, something like this that I have here, they do some of this processing for us. They're able to help us in these noisy situations. And a couple ways they can do that. Many hearing aids automatically will recognize that there's noise going on around us, and they will transition to amplifying more in a beam-like setting. So that as long as I'm looking at the person that I'm trying to hear, the hearing aid will pick up their voice and it won't amplify all of the sounds around me. And again, that can happen automatically. Hearing aids often have a little button on the back that people can push and put the hearing aid into a special setting for restaurants, for noisy groups. We sometimes call this a restaurant mode or a restaurant program. Most hearing aids have this. So when you get into those noisy groups, if you're really struggling, the automatic adaptations aren't doing the trick, you can reach up and click that button and you're able to do better in background noise. In addition to some of the things these devices can do, there also are accessories that can work in conjunction with a hearing aid to help you hear even better in noise. This is something that we call a micro mic or a companion mic, and it's something that can be clipped on and it broadcasts the voice of the person wearing the microphone directly to a hearing aid. So if someone else were wearing this hearing aid and I was wearing this mic, my voice would be broadcast right to their ear above any of the background noise in the restaurant. This is a really remarkable way to hear better in background noise. Probably the best way, because the signal is so clean. Just my voice right in your ear without any of the other noise in the restaurant. If you're not wearing a hearing aid, if you're not using a microphone, there are some little tips that you can employ to hear a little bit better in noise. Number one, try to control the environment as much as you can. And what I mean by that is,
if you know the Olive Garden is going to be really busy at about 6 p.m., maybe go at 2 p.m. Go when it's a little less busy, a little less noisy. It makes a huge difference. Also, restaurants that have a more warehouse type feel, big open room with high ceilings and hard surfaces, those are very reverberant. There's a lot of echo, and that makes it difficult to hear. So if you can choose a place to go that is not like a big open warehouse, that maybe has more soft surfaces, maybe has more booth seating, separate rooms, that can really help to dampen some of the echo and can help you hear better. Additionally, looking at the person that you're talking to always helps to hear in background noise. And finally, if you can seat yourself so that you're kind of in the corner. If you're in the corner of the booth with maybe a high-backed booth, that can help you to hear the people in the group even better. So there are some tips, there are some things that can help you hear better in background noise. Please feel free to come in and see either myself, Dr. Whitaker, or my partner, Dr. Lukengay, here in St. George at Hearing and Balance Doctors. We'd love to be able to talk with you about your specific concerns, your specific problems. There will be some information that you can click on down below to be able to contact us or to be able to come in for a free consultation, and it would really be wonderful if we could get you some help. We'd really enjoy doing that. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.